Hello, everyone. I think I'm live now. Welcome to my broadcast. Um, I've changed it up a little bit today. I had a plan, kind of a plan of where I was going to go, and I wanted to bring awareness to events that have occurred, unfortunate events that occurred yesterday in Uvalde, Texas. There was a school shooting, and many children lost their lives tragically, and two adults as well. And I don't want to sit here and amplify news. Um, I do want to talk about it though, in the sense of bringing awareness not just to the tragic event, but also something really important. I think that I learned from my spiritual teacher, Leslie, is that understanding of what is going on out there, outside of us, and in comparison and contrast with what's going on inside of us. And what does that mean? What are you talking about, Jacob? I'm talking about recognizing and and inspecting whether or not our old ways serve us still. And and obviously there's going to be a continued debate uh, in this country about what serves us the best and what serves its people. And I believe that is a very similar debate that's going on inside of us all the time of, do these values I'm holding, or are these tools that I use to get through my life still serving me? Are they producing the results that I wanted them to? And what else could I be doing? What would be the outcome I want? And and that's something that I have struggled with quite a bit on my evolution as a person since I've left the military, since I've become who I am, is really inspecting, what am I living by? What are these rules that I've created for myself? How are they helping me get to where I want to be? How are they helping me be the person I want to be? And so as we kind of look at the tragic events going on in our around us and that we read, and we wonder, like, why do we do things the way we do, and we ask ourselves the same question. uh, One, I've had to change some of the principles that I live by. I used to live by the principle of hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And I know that I imagine that resonates with a lot of, service members and people who have served, but also many who have not. And that's kind of the culture that we live in and that we cultivate. And it's reflected today as well. When I heard about the news yesterday, um, it was sad, and at the same time, I wasn't surprised because that's what we do. We prepare for the worst possible event. And I I was not achieving a lot of success in my life of where I wanted to go, and things were not happening according to my plan, according to what I think the best possible outcome can be, until I started to imagine what could be the best possible outcome. I'm going to hope for the best, and I'm going to plan for the best. I'm going to do all the things necessary so that when the best outcome happens, I'm ready for the next step. How is that relevant? Because when you spend all of your time and energy preparing for the worst possible scenario, there's so many possibilities, and you're spending all this time and energy and resources to stop this disaster from happening, rather than working towards an end state for yourself or for your community or for the world around you that includes the best possible outcome and does not include that disaster. We always have safeguards for ourselves. We have boundaries for ourselves. We have laws in this country. At the end of the day, though, what's the lens we're looking at it through? And so While I don't want to take up too much time today, because this tragedy does weigh on me pretty heavily, I do want to kind of leave with this. And I recently completed some academic training with IPEC, and I wanted to share um, one of their foundational principles that kind of resonates with me and what's going on today. And that is that the only constant is change. Uh, Nothing stays the same forever. We grow up, we change the way we think about things, um, we change how we interact with people, and we change anything we can to be more aligned with our values. And so I encourage you, if you have the opportunity, to consider what are some of the necessary changes you've gone through and how they've affected your life. And maybe if there's any changes that you're wanting to make, that because your values or your system right now is not serving you anymore. So um, as I close today, it's kind of a short show, but I really appreciate everybody showing up and being here. Um, I want to thank IPEC, the institute where I am uh, getting certified for my professional coaching from. Um, and I want to thank all of you for showing up. And a special shout out to my friend Josh Taylor for all of the great communication back and forth on Facebook with all the current events and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. Um, Couple admin notes. Put a lot of good work into the website this week. It should be up soon. I know I keep saying that. Give it a few weeks, and I have some ideas about some future shows and some future content to try and build this community. So I thank you again, um, and I hope you have a mindful day and rest of the week. Thank you so much for coming.